'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Bienvenidas al podcast Dos Bold Latinas. Aquí están sus hosts, Jatna Abreu
y Josibel Madera Vialet, dos latinas feministas born in Santo Domingo y in New York.
Passionate about Latina empowerment, Spanglish,
learning, growth, and so much more.
Hola mujeres. Por mucho tiempo, ciertos tipos de cuerpo y talla han sido considerados más aceptables por la sociedad. Tradicionalmente, muchos países han dado reconocimiento, apreciación y privilegio a esas personas cuya apariencia es la ideal. La mayoría de veces, este ideal, flaqueza, muscularidad o cierta forma de cuerpo, and these messages of that is considered an attractive or appropriate body type and size can be super damaging for the many women or men who do not fit into that specific box. So these expectations can lead to poor mental health, a que no estemos conforme con nuestro cuerpo y comportamiento no saludables cuando se refiere a comida y ejercicio. En el día de hoy queremos hablar sobre la importancia de querernos como somos, porque la verdad es que nuestro cuerpo como mujeres nos han ayudado a llegar hasta donde estamos hoy y para muchas de nosotras también nos ha ayudado a crear vida. An article posted by the Recovery Village, a behavioral health care website, mentions that body positivity is guided by the understanding that feeling positive and accepting of appearance can improve mental health, reduce the risk of eating disorders, and allow someone to function at their best. Entonces, con mucho más razón, tenemos que cuidar nuestro cuerpo y amarlo como se ve en estos momentos, porque es la única manera en la que tendremos mejor salud mental y seremos mucho más felices con nosotras mismas. So, let's get into more details about this topic, Rosy.
Yes, thank you, Jana. I love how ser más felices con nosotras mismas. Y por ejemplo, la primera pregunta que me llega a la mente is, what is a perfect body image? So as Latinas, we want to share our personal experience and point of views. So here goes mine first was like growing up, I thought that like my body was weird since buying shorts or dresses or bathing suits was so hard since I had, my big booty and then my shorts and dresses were always too short. So I could never shop at those stores que era para teenagers porque todito me quedaban corto. So I was like traumatized and like I had to wear like older lady shorts or dresses or other things like my bikini didn't look good on me, like the ones on the didn't look on me like the way I would see in the magazine. Or what I thought it would look like. Like, it wouldn't make me look like the mujerón I thought it could. Like, porque mujerón looks like, to me, to be a mujerón back then was like, oh, you had to have the boobs. And you had to have it all. And to me, like, my boobs have always been small, even after having kids. Just only when I was breastfeeding, I had boobs. So with that, like, the struggle I grew up with, that was the struggle I grew up with. And now being a mom is with like all the stretch marks and tummy rolls that I don't even want to get started on how much harder it has gotten to even get a swimsuit that I feel confident in. However, I am in the process to this summer to actually wear a swimsuit with confidence. And in a couple of minutes, I'll share more of like my mindset towards what body image is and how I am starting to accept my body as is.
And for me, we were just talking about this right before we started the recording this episode. And I've always, before I turned 21, I've always been skinny, but I'm a tall person. And yes, I have always had a booty too. So even though I was skinny, every time I would go to the store, because I was tall and had a booty, I could never find pants, like jeans that were long enough for me. They would fit, like if they fit at the waist, they would be short. Like, como le llaman saltachalco.
Yeah.
Me quedaban saltachalco. So I always struggled with that because, I think la sociedad and then like the people in the market that like those, like, stores que venden ropa tienen esta, no sé, como esta, like one size fits all type of thing. And like, Latinas have a different, definitely. And I know like African American women do too, like have different bodies. And it's not realistic when you go to the store and like, they don't have anything that actually fits you well. And like, you have to go to a lot of places to find something that like actually fits your body. So la sociedad no está ayudando tampoco. So that's why I think we need to kind of like, still look at ourselves in the mirror and like appreciate the fact that like our bodies are amazing and we have gotten to this point because of our body. So we kind of have to thank our body regardless of how it looks like.
Right. And going into, this is like the next question I would ask myself about this topic, Jana, is like, what are the correct portions to eat as a Latina, I say? Porque here's my personal experience. I am so confused porque growing up, I was told, come porque tú estás muy flaca. And now I'm told, no coma tanto porque estás como una vaquita. So I'm like, okay, so a couple years ago, yo no comía, which is still the same portion and like same stuff. And now me dicen que no coma. So it's like, ¿qué es en verdad the right portions for us?
So contradicting, right?
And so, por eso yo digo, so, ¿en qué momento tendré yo la libertad de comer lo que yo quiera sin importar mi figura? So, porque siempre lo relacionan con la figura, porque no puede ser, para que cuide tu corazón o para que cuide tu colesterol, tú sabes, cosas así. Todo siempre es a la figura. Y porque yo sí sé que hay que cuidarse, pero mi mentalidad aún está en la etapa de que comer es rico, qué rico es comer. Cuando yo me como algo y sabe, I'm like, oh, qué rico es comer. So, claro, no se trata de abusar, pero no dejar de comer a veces lo que te gusta comer solo por la figura de tu cuerpo. Porque si es por tu salud, entonces sí hay que hacer esos sacrificios ya cuando uno está escogiendo lo que uno va a comer.
And I agree with you, Rosie, because I get it. Like, I feel like, yes, like, obviously we need to eat healthy and try to have like a healthy routine, still exercise as much as we can y todo eso, pero not because we want to look a certain way, right? Not because like, oh, la sociedad te dice que, oh, I need to look this way. Porque así se ven la modelo, así se ven otra gente. And like, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people because eso no es realístico. And whatever works for them may not work for you because we're all different. We have different bodies. We have different mindsets. And yes, at the end of the day, like, yes, it's important to be healthy and do all those things that we need to do. Pero thinking about being healthy, not necessarily like, oh, esto es para yo verme como una Barbie type of thing, because it's just not realistic, people. Let's just, eso esa narrativa de que like, oh, we have to look a perfect way or whatever, like, it's just not okay. Like, we need to start being a little more, I don't know, care more for our bodies, así como se ve, y amarnos más, because it's just, at the end of the day, the reality is that it takes a lot of effort. And again, como yo dije antes, like, our bodies have, like, they do a lot every day and have done so much for us hasta ahora. And so we just have to care for it, but also like just amarnos como somos.
Yes. And Jana, I want you, it's like, I feel want to put you on the spot, but this like really made me, even though I didn't tell you, but kind of like made me self-reflect. So before recording, I showed Jana this lady I followed on Instagram. Like, look, she's Dominican and look how fit she is. And she got 2 kids and this and that. And Jana's like, you'll see. That's her living. Like, she sells those products. So Jana, tell the audience what you told me.
Yeah, so essentially when she showed me this person and like her account and how fit she looked and like how amazing and everything she does on a daily basis, I was just like, you need to snap out of that because that is her job. Like she needs to look like that because that's what she's selling and that's her life. Like on a daily basis, like if that's what she's selling for people, she needs to look like that. Porque si ella no se ve así, then how is she gonna sell? You know what I mean? How is she gonna help other people? So for me, I was just like, you need to be more realistic because si tú piensas como esa figura artística like Beyonce, J-Lo, like they look like that because that's what brings their money. Like, yeah, they sing and they have an amazing voice, but at the end of the day, like they also are a public figure, so they have to look good. And that's their jobs. You know what I mean? Like we all have different types of jobs. And so it doesn't fit in. It's not realistic. So that's why I was like, you need to maybe unfollow that lady because that's not realistic and find more accounts that maybe bring you more joy or like people that look more like you. And then, slowly start then, shifting that mentality.
Yeah. And that they have the means, to pay and to maintain focus. Like we're all at different steps in our lives, at different points in our lives. And with nada se me fue el hilo, yo estaba pensando. Like, yeah, it's just like when not comparing yourself, I was like, because yo decía like, oh, si otra puede, porque yo no? And I would put that burden on me, like, oh my gosh, I would see these transformations on Instagram. And I'm like, pero pues si ella puede, porque yo no? And then as I was talking to John, I'm like, yeah, all of our bodies work differently. Like that person may have come easier than maybe to me. Or maybe I'm not really seeing all the sacrifices behind the scenes of what there is happening, of what actually goes on social media. So that was something else that John and I were talking about. Like that is like helping me like, okay, reality check. Like don't be so hard on yourself. Just because you don't really know everything that's going on, so that woman can have that body. And maybe it comes easier to her than to me, and that's okay, but just focus on you, girl.
Agreed. Yeah,
so some little bloopers from and then that leads me to the other question is like, have you learned to actually accept your body no matter what it looks like? Porque it is okay that you want to improve it by eating less, exercising. However, still look at yourself in the mirror and realize that you're beautiful and sexy. Like I say that porque before I had kids, like I never cherished my body. Like I wouldn't stand in front of a mirror and say like, damn, I'm sexy while being naked. Like I could do that con ropa, pero desnuda. I was telling John, like I never even took a naked picture before. Like it's so hard for me to embrace that body. Y eso que I was really skinny with a booty growing up. However, I never thought of myself as sexy. And now it's like I would feel and thought I look good. Like I said, like with certain outfits. And now I'm like, I look back at picture, I'm like, Tia, tú se perdiste el tiempo. Like you never thought about that. Look what you had. So like even if you're now at this age, I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to cherish like the body that I have now so that in 10 years when I go back to look at my pictures from now, I don't feel crappy. I just feel like, okay, tú te gustaste en esos años y tú lo viviste and you cherished them.
And isn't that crazy how like I look back to like my college pictures or whatever, or things that, events that I went to, and then there's pictures of me and I'm just like, I was so skinny. Why was it that at the time I felt like I was so fat? Like I don't get it. And then like I look at myself now compared to, when I was in college, and it's just like a completely different body. So I don't understand why I spent so much time worrying about how I looked back then, which I think I was fine. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm just like regretting, right? Like, oh my gosh, like now definitely it's the body. My body is different, which again, I understand because obviously like I have a child. Mm-hmm. Again, that changes your body a lot. And so, some of us, like, I think we have to be proud of that because not everybody can do that. And we just have to embrace it, girl.
Yeah. Last night I was looking at a picture of my son was already like 2 years old. And I was in the picture of him. I was like, damn, why didn't I look at myself with those eyes I'm looking at? And I was like, diache, but así que tú te veías. But at that time, I was like, yeah, I look good. But at that time, I couldn't see myself through those lenses. And that's of like acceptance, like that I'm going through now. Like So fast forward to being a mommy of two, like I wish to look at the mirror naked and to think, damn, Josie, you look beautiful and sexy. However, all I could think about is like my two raisin looking boobs from like excessive pumping, which I believe is the cause. Anyhow, the belly baby pouch y más grasa on the tummy, stretch marks. However, like I said, like I still get the same feeling when I wear a certain outfit. I feel beautiful and sexy, pero desde que me quito la ropa, olvídate, those thoughts disappear. So it's a work in progress, right? So what am I doing now? So now what I have had to learn is que accepting my body is all in the mindset. ¿Y por qué digo esto? It's what I have lived. Like before having kids, I can say I had the body that many other girls may have identified as perfect. And I still never embraced my body. I would just think, oh, I have no boobs, so I don't look sexy. Now my body has changed and still feel the same or sometimes worse. However, after starting, I just want to put like of when I really like what really fue esa chispa that I could say, okay, you got to change the way your mindset was, like starting that self-love journey. Like I had to start learning to compliment myself when looking at myself naked or even with clothes. I've had to remember to give myself credit for having the body image I have, even when I don't take care of it. I've had to learn that this is the body God blessed me with. And if I want to improve it, I need to put in the work with resources that He approves of, like that God approves of. Because, I don't want to go out there and do anything that's going to like sacrifice my health. That we all know the different definitions to that. And ladies, like I've had to discipline. I definitely have really, really bad discipline issues. And so when it comes to doing things for myself, which has hindered me to eat less or exercise more. However, it has not stopped me from disciplining my mind to think differently, to turn my negative thoughts into positive. So my mindset is the first muscle I have chosen to discipline first.
So with that, if you have not, all the things that we've shared with you today, and, loving your body, and we've mentioned many times that, like, obviously we're not perfect. We don't look like models, obviously. And that's why we want to share with you guys that it's important to love yourself and your body as much as you can, just because, again, it's what has brought us to where we are today. So if you have not learned how to accept your body and love it as it is, here are some things you can do to start doing that. Even if it's hard, because we know it's hard because we are going through that and we have gone through that. So we get it. So the first thing is that you need to get rid of the narrative that looking a certain way will make you happier, because it's not. If you don't stop that, you're never gonna get past that and be able to do other things to love yourself as you look like. Then you have to clean your social media feed, just like I was telling Rosie, of anything that makes you feel bad about your body. So if you're looking at all these people that look mad fit and that's their job, I mean, like, I don't think that's realistic for you to feel like, oh, why don't I look like that? Like, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. Then, just start following social media accounts de personas que tienen cuerpos como el tuyo, maybe, o donde enseñan cuerpos como el tuyo. That will help you, feel a lot better and know that, like, there's a lot of other people like you, girl. And then, trata de conocer tu cuerpo. Like, however it is you want to do it, just try to know your body. It's very important. And then do something that makes your body feel good todos los días. Make exercise about being healthy, like we said, feeling good, not about your actual appearance. And then dress your body with pieces that make you feel good. Like, obviously, there's pieces for everybody, like outfits that will complement your body. So just find the ones that are perfect for you and that make you look good and feel good about yourself. And then last thing is, pon una nota en tu espejo que diga, I am beautiful inside and out. And I can guarantee you that you're going to have a very motivational day. And every day you're going to look at yourself and you're going to say, you know what? Yes, I'm healthy. I'm alive. I'm here. This body's mine. And I look good. And it's done a lot of things for me. So, everything is fine.
So, nada, chicas, ahí uno estaba pensando, like, okay, being a body image as a Latina. And in conclusion, after listening to John and I talk, and I hope you have to come to some conclusion too, as to accept your body the way it is comes down to self-love. That self-care, like whatever works for you. Like, you're going to accept your body once you have that self-love. Like, once you start loving yourself more and more, that's when you're going to start accepting your body more and more, and you won't be having these questions, or you'll have less frustrations, or asking yourself, like, do I have a normal body? Like, I feel like us as Latinas, we struggle more because some of us are mixed. So then we have different body portions. And then like sometimes we were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go shopping with my friends, and we don't click. So that's the thing, is like, comes to self-love, accept the way that you are. God made you that way. At the beginning, we said, para nosotras que hemos dado vida, like that should be enough of a motivation. And to remember that when you're choosing your meal options, when you're doing your fitness options, to do it to make you feel good. You don't want this to be a burden on your mental health. You want this to be good. You want this to be as a self-care thing. So ya tú sabes, accepting your body image is with self-love. So amate mucho. Start putting those notes on your mirror. Like I started looking at myself en uno de esos espejos que son altos to embrace more of my body. So I challenge you to start taking a small step towards loving yourself more as you are. So hasta la próxima, chicas. Ciao.